Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra versus Xiaomi 15 Ultra speed test. That video is coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Let's go ahead and begin this speed test between these two beasts with a boot up test in 3, 2, go, and see which one could get there first. Now, Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra does have the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra joins the club as well with the 8 Elite chipset, 16 gigabytes of RAM on the right, 12 gigabytes of RAM on the left. That Samsung version is a overclocked version of the 8 Elite, so we'll see if that makes a difference. The Xiaomi does turn on faster, and we do have 16 gigs of RAM right, 12 on the left. I'm not sure if I said that already. Adreno 830 GPU, and both of them are on Android 15, although this is doing it on HyperOS. This is doing it on One UI version 7. So this is going to be a fun comparison. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so both of these phones do have ultrasonic fingerprint sensors. So if I go ahead and click or hit right here, both of them do unlock in. Of course, they have a little bit different animations if we go ahead and hit that. But the Xiaomi phone does have a few more customizations for that unlocking, but you'll see it's virtually the same. And of course, both of them can unlock via their front-facing cameras, although the punch hole on the right is definitely larger. Samsung does one of the smallest punch holes out there, just so, if you will. But I will say that these ultrasonics are great. They really are. They're definitely better than the optical versions, but both of these pretty much even Steven in that round. When generally scrolling through both of these software, you're going to find them both to be pretty equally smooth. The Xiaomi phone feels, maybe to me, a little bit quicker kind of when it's going through. It also has a little bit more animation customization, but the Samsung's still a very polished look. So I definitely like the look of One UI a little bit better. But this one, to me, kind of like OnePlus, actually, a little closer to that. But definitely both of these phones are pretty smooth and fast for the day-to-day. They both have adaptive refreshes, and whether you're pulling down from the right, you're pulling down from the left, both of them are going to do that very well. And even the animations when kind of like swiping out, they both have this translucent effect behind them. They're both very, very up to date and very fast and smooth. So you don't have to really worry about anything when it comes to the general OS. It's going to be a great experience for many, many years to come. All right, guys, so here we are at the app test. Let's go ahead and begin with calendar here, and you'll see the Samsung a little bit faster there. Let's swipe up out of there, and we'll go into clock. I didn't even see, I think that was the Xiaomi. Let's go over here to stopwatch timer. You really gotta look closely because these phones are getting like within milliseconds difference. Let's go into calculator. Pretty much the same. Both of these are pretty feature packed calculators. Let's go into weather. You could see similar, although they do look very different. Let me know which one you prefer. I like the Samsung's look. I like how these areas are blue. It just looks a little more polished to me, a little bit more in sync with the weather app. It's something small, but I prefer this weather app. Gives you a little message as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's go into news. It's like, Nick really talking about a weather app? Come on, bro. It's just the weather app. Let's go over here to technology. And that was faster on the right. We'll go ahead and click something about this. And we'll swipe up out of here. And we'll go into this right here. We'll go ahead and back out. And this is going to be a pretty exciting times for tech. I think we're going to see some really, really cool stuff coming over the next couple of years. So you'll want to be subscribed for that. Let's go into Play Store. I think that was first on the right, but we had that little pop-up. Let's go ahead and click on, I'll just click on some area up here. And no major difference once you're in. Games. We can go over here to top charts. That was faster on the right, now faster on the right. And we'll swipe out. Let's go into X. So you can see both of these, I'll go to my profile page. Both of these are really performing stunningly well. Now they're slowing down here in X to load the profile. Let's go ahead and just come out of here. We'll just scroll here for this area. Let's go into Instagram. And we'll go over here. And I'll click on this section as we scroll. Both of them have essentially the same scrolling. So that's pretty good for both. All right, so let's go into Amazon on both. And you could see not a massive deal of a difference. Again, both of them scroll very quickly. We'll go into YouTube. And what I'm going to do is click over here. Let me go ahead and click over here. We'll go to trending. And we'll go over here to music. We'll go over here to gaming and movies. And as we scroll down, I feel like the scrolling is a little bit choppier looking on the right. I'm looking at it really closely here. It does look like Samsung's scrolling is a little bit better. That's what I was talking about before with the dynamic refresh. Let's go over to Groupon. I found that to be a issue for the Xiaomi phone in the dynamic refresh. I am seeing it like not always be like in 120 hertz when I want it to be. That's something I don't like about this phone so far. Whereas the Samsung tends to know when to be there. Although certain apps like this one, for some reason, they're like choppy on my Samsung phone. So it really depends on the app. Some apps are going to be a better performer on each. And you'll see that was pretty much even. We'll go into Subway Surfers. Now this phone pulled ahead of the iPhone, and it pulls ahead of the Samsung there as well. They have like this gaming turbo mode, and you also can use like this gaming section, almost like a gaming phone on the 15 Ultra. So this phone can really do it all. You know, it's fast. It has a gaming turbo. So can the Samsung though. It can do most of what you need to do as well. Both of them have nice pro camera setups with really great video capabilities. I think the Samsung is making noise. Yes, it was. So let me go ahead and get that back in frame. And let's go ahead and swipe up out of here. And we'll go into the RTS. And we'll see what happens here. Both of them loading at about the same clip. And Samsung also has this gaming section as well where you can tweak some things. So let's go ahead and swipe up out of here. I do leave I leave these on pretty much default for this test. On both. We might have an issue with logging in, so whichever one gets there first is basically the winner. Like, because they're both on a similar account, so we might have an issue there. So whichever one has the pop-up that says, we'll see right here, that says, oh, you're on another account, can't log in. So that was the Samsung. So this one's not going to let me log in. Yeah, so the Samsung one, I would have to sign in again. It's a similar account, unfortunately, but like this is like going to show that was quicker, because whichever one was quicker is going to get to that login page first. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and head into Real Racing 3 now and see which one could get there first. And again, boosted with the turbo over here. This one does show to be on the game optimization mode of balanced. Again, these are just how they come out of the box. I didn't change any settings, so that's how I like to run these tests, as if the phones were just being used the way they were meant to be used. You do have options if you want to boost the speed on both of them. As you've seen though, that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra won that. A lot of people like to consider whoever wins the games is winning the test, because the games do take more power from these phones to load. And the Xiaomi 15 Ultra taking the win again, that was kind of substantial right there. So we'd be in a match already. That was a pretty substantial victory right there. It looks like we had a login failure though, probably similar accounts is why. But still, this was so far behind that by the time we got there, you know, it wouldn't even make a difference. So this was faster for the right. Let's go into 3D Mark, and you'll see, I think that was the right. We'll go into Geekbench 6, faster on the left, and speed test, faster on the right. So overall, I have to say, I think the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was winning more of these, even during the games. The Samsung, very quick as well. It's one of the faster Android phones out there, but I'm not quite sure it won in this test. We'll have to see how the benchmarks stack up against each other though. If you go to Geekbench 6, you'll see that there's a slightly overclocked on the second cluster at 4.47 gigahertz. So we'll see if that makes a difference in our benchmarks. But for now, let's go ahead and run back through the apps. We'll see what we get here. And if we go over here to 3D Mark, so far nothing. And I do have the Good Lock module that disables the double swipe out of the landscape. So now this phone is super smooth. Gemini is still acting up as usual in these past speed tests. We'll go over here to Play Store. We'll go to News. We'll go to Weather. We'll go to Calculator. We'll go to Clock, and we're out of here. Samsung nailed it right there, even with 12 gigs of RAM. Also, I really love the Samsung multitasking features. I think they're the most polished, the best multitasking suite on a phone. Definitely. There's just so much you can do with them. And it really feels like a true powerhouse. Also, plug this in the DeX and you do have yourself a true, like basically computer, just need a monitor, keyboard, and a mouse. Not a major issue. Most people already have those things. All right, so let's go back over here to the 15 Ultra and we'll see how this one does. And as we come out, everything buttery smooth so far. And here we go. A couple swipes. A little bit slower. It's requiring a double swipe there. Let's go over here to Brawl Stars. That's a reload. That's kind of strange. We'll go over there. Gemini. Whoa, what was that? I was just swiping out and just went flying to the other side. And Amazon with a reload. Instagram reloading. I'm wondering if it's doing this because I didn't turn on performance mode in this video. If we go over here, everything looking pretty smooth with animations wise though. Very good performance here. Just a couple of apps did some wonky stuff. So I would say Samsung won this out in the RAM management. Well, the way it looked going back through the apps anyway. Not necessarily that it has more RAM, but the 15 Ultra might be able to hold more just due to the physically larger, more RAM. But in terms of like the polished look animations, I think the Samsung did better there. So very interesting results. We do have a much higher score. Well, it's not massive, but it's definitely a good amount better on the multi-core for the Samsung. So 9500 versus 8935. So just as I expected, it would probably do better under heavier multitasking or maybe even heavier gaming performance, maybe video renders. But you've seen that the Xiaomi was winning a lot of these regular apps, and that would probably explain why that single core score is a little bit better. So it's kind of like mix and match. They're both pretty high end performers though. Either way, it's going to come down to the software you prefer. It's going to come down to the camera setup you prefer. Basically, it just comes down to your preference. They're both really fast in that area. I do expect the Samsung to win here in Wildlife Extreme as well, just because it had a higher multi-core score in Geekbench 6. Usually that translates to a higher frame rate. So this would tell you which one is going to actually perform better in the gameplay. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'll be back in a second. And that's exactly what happened. But what's surprising here is it wasn't by as much as I thought. I thought it was going to be like 10 FPS difference, but it was only 2. 36.23 on the average frame rate and 34.69 on the average frame rate over here. This is doing a 5792. This is doing a 6051. So this scores better than 97% of devices on the market, and this one's going to score better than 97 as well. So 3D Mark is basically calling these things even. Basically, as you can see right there, they're pretty much even performing phones right there. And that probably comes down to the fact that they're both in the 8 Elite Club. So definitely these two phones right here are two of the top you can buy for Android performance here at an early, well, we could say going into, we're still early 2025 here. So yeah, these are definitely two of the best you can buy in early 2025. So definitely, I do quite like both of these phones in the area of speed. They're really that good. All right, so let's go ahead and run a Wi-Fi speed test. We'll begin on the Samsung Galaxy S25U on the left. And we're pulling in a little bit better performance than last time, probably due to the day. And we are at 341 on the download. So we're having decent uploads right here, 23 going on 24 Mbps, and you can see right there 23.5 to finish. Let's see if the Ultra can beat it. I don't expect it to, but it might be quite similar. And you'll see, actually it is going to win it out here. That's a little shocking, considering this doesn't even support as many bands here, but this is not really about that. It's mostly Wi-Fi here. You'll see 389. And pulling in even higher uploads so far, but now dropping. So Samsung's going to win, looks like, on the upload, but only by a little bit. But the Xiaomi won on the download. So both of them going to do pretty similar there when it comes to their Wi-Fi performance. All right, so one of the last things I want to do here is go ahead and click on the cameras. We'll check the shutter speed, which one can launch that camera faster. And you'll see that was first to the Samsung. Let's go ahead and do that again. Hold on. Let me go ahead and close that out, and we'll do it again. 3, 2, go. That time it looked like the 15 Ultra. We'll do it again. 3, 2, go. That time was the 15 Ultra. Let's see which one can actually get into the camera and do this task faster, like just get the shot taken. Hold up. It's kind of hard to close these when you're holding two massive phones side to side. 3, 2, go. I don't think, and both of them did a good job. I don't think you're going to miss any shots. Both of them are going to give you some fantastic results. They do look quite different, but it really comes down to what type of results you're going to prefer. I would say the Xiaomi's a little bit sharper. The Samsung's a little bit softer in its results, but both have really good video features. But the Xiaomi's trying to go a little bit more like pro level camera. This one is also pro, but trying to be like a mixture between versatility, features, a balance of pro level features, but also good for the consumer as well. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know which one you would pick down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.